Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Craven Some Raven. In this episode, I'm going to be breaking down this upcoming matchup we got this Sunday in Buffalo. They play in Buffalo, right? Because the other New York teams, yeah, they're the only team that plays in New York. So, we'll be playing the lone New York team. The other ones are in New Jersey. And they are surprisingly, out of nowhere, somehow 9-3. I mean, it's not surprising because they've had one of the easiest schedules in the entire league. But this is going to be another week and another Ravens game that is the matchup of the week, right? You look at the TV broadcast, for the past 5 weeks, and most areas around this country are watching the Ravens. And the reason for that is because the NFL is an entertainment company, and they know good entertainment when they see it. Lamar Jackson is entertainment. He is the flashiest player. He's bringing NBA kind of style flash to the NFL. So, before I get into things too much, I imagine this is going to be all over the place like it always is. I have no notes, no nothing. Just going to talk about this game. I was thinking about doing my game picks episode this when I'm recording right now. I was thinking about doing that instead, but I'm just going to break down this game first. It is Thursday. The game is going on right now, the Bears versus the Cowboys, and I have the Bears winning this game. And now currently it is 10-7 Bears. Just about to end the second quarter, about to go into the second half. But I have the text to prove it before this game started. If you really need to know that I'm picking the Bears, so is my buddy. He's also picking the Bears. Hopefully this week we'll get together and do an episode, a game picks episode, because he hasn't been on one in a while. I've been kind of slacking on scheduling and all that kind of crazy stuff. It's been crazy, vacation, getting back to work, and now just recording an episode. I'm going to be talking about this Bills game. And frankly, I could see it being close. The blueprint's out. The 49ers figured out a way to kind of slow Lamar Jackson down. Did they, though? He ran for 100 yards. Did they, though? I think Mother Nature really is the only way to stop him at this point. They've just been hitting his groove so much. And, I said earlier, it's like you can't expect them to be this dominant this long. But I think, sometimes your teams are just that good. I mean, you could say they will regress. They will get back. They've been playing so crazy lights out that eventually they will regress back to where they normally are. But they've been playing this good. I think maybe this is just how good they are, right? And the only thing to change is, we beat ourselves or there's some kind of inclement weather. Holy shit. Dude, the Bears are kind of whooping it. And I didn't trust the Cowboys in this game. That's why I picked the Bears. But I didn't want to pick the Bears either. I texted my buddy. He's like, who do you got in this game? I was like, I hate to say it, but I got the Bears. And they're driving the ball. How many seconds left? Like 21 seconds left. Great throw, Trubisky. Who the fuck seen this coming? Either way, we're going to be talking. I might interject with some stuff just because I'm watching the game and trying to speak about football. So, the things, they kind of cross a little bit. It is what it is, bro. If you're listening to this, you know the way I do things. It's off the cusp. We do it differently here. We don't have a plan. We just kind of go for it. That's the way I like to do it. So, getting into this game, I think it will be billed. I think it has already been billed. I'm a little bit late to the party, I guess. Everyone kind of gets their takes out of the way on like Wednesday. They talk about football from previous weeks on Monday and Tuesday, and then starting Wednesday they get, all right, new week, we got to talk about the next games. So maybe I'm slow to the party, but you know what? Whatever. But this game is billed as, the running quarterback showdown. Josh Allen versus Lamar Jackson. It's like, don't disrespect my man Lamar by putting Josh Allen's name in the fold. I mean, just don't do it. I understand why they do it because he is a prolific runner, but he's nowhere near him. Now, he may be second when it comes to running quarterback, but he dropped it. But Josh Allen, like if you're going to tier this, like a running quarterback tier system, it's Lamar Jackson, an empty tier, another empty tier, and then Josh Allen and Deshaun Watson. I put Deshaun Watson above him. Even Tyrod Taylor put him in there. It's just that Tyrod Taylor doesn't play. Ooh, Wims is all fucked up. Broke his cankle. Uh-oh. And the Cowboys dancing right there. That's a bad look. We dem boys dance on your grave. But man, yeah, Josh Allen. Of course, they're going to build this way, and I think anytime someone says that, listen, we know Lamar Jackson's a better runner, but this game it's combined 1,400 yards on the ground for quarterbacks. Yeah, most of that's Lamar Jackson. He's gonna, I mean, for fuck's sake, he's gonna win. He's gonna get the QB single season rushing record this week. I mean, he needs 60 some yards, like 64 yards, 63, something in the 60s, low 60s. And that's a lot to ask of a quarterback. 60 something yards. That's a lot of fucking yards to run. But if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be Lamar Jackson. I think the Bills, they do have a better defense, but also, who have you played? Right? Who have you played? Now, they beat the Cowboys last week, but look what are the Bears doing? The Bears have been one of the biggest disappointments. And what are they doing? They're beating the Cowboys right now. The Cowboys are trash. They are hot and cold. They will destroy a trash team, but sometimes a trash team shows up, like right now. I don't know. Math doesn't, football math doesn't work. I've talked about that many, many times. But you know what? This Bills team, their record may be 9-3, but I genuinely do not think that they are a 9-3 team. When you typically think of a team that's 9-3, you don't playoffs, like ultimate team. Like who have they? Let's go to their schedule. Actually, I may be surprised. Maybe they happen to have beaten somebody. Like, oh yeah, that is a surprise. Let's see. Bills schedule. What is your schedule? Yeah, 2019 schedule. Okay. Preseason. So they beat the Jets by a point. Amazing. They beat the Giants by 14. Meh. They beat the Bengals. Oh, those pesky Bengals. By 4 points. They lost to the Patriots by 6. We kind of dominated the Patriots. The Bills beat the Titans by 7 in a game that's 14-7. They beat the Dolphins by 10 points, 31-21. They lost to the Eagles. The Eagles. Okay? They beat the Redskins pretty handedly. They played the Dolphins again. They won. They lost to the Browns 19-16. They beat the Broncos 20-3. Beat the Cowboys 26-15. I'm looking for a good team that they've played. Maybe I guess the Patriots and Titans. The Vikings. They beat the Vikings. That was preseason, actually, so that doesn't count. So, they haven't played shit. They've played nada. Not a shit. They haven't even played a turd. And they're number 2. The poop. I don't know. They're not, to me, they're just not a good team. I think most Ravens fans feel this way. And I think a lot of Bills fans coming into this game, I don't know. I don't know any Bills fans, but I've heard some of them talking like, hey, well, thanks for, I'll be sitting here talking up, or someone else will be talking up the Bills, because that's what you do before the game. Like, hey, they got Josh Allen, they got Smokey Brown, we had him on our team, we know how good he can be. Their defense is solid, and then the Bills fan interject, listen, I know what you're doing, Pinheiro made it! Son of a bitch. I know you got to say these positive things, but listen, the Ravens are 1,000 times better than the Bills. And I think most Bills fans probably also feel that way. They're probably nervous about this game, and they're gonna kind of do what teams have started to do if they even play as close as take a moral victory. You're not supposed to do that, but I imagine if we beat them and it's somewhat close, if it's within 10, they're gonna tell us, hey, well, we played a really good team there. We got to take with what we can and improve in the areas, where we need to produce more. But listen, it's going to be, to me, it's going to sound like they're going to be taking the hey, look what we did. What's it called? I don't know. they're going to be happy that they only lost by so many points. I could be eating my words right now. They could lose this game and it would suck. But I mean, if the Ravens have proven anything, it's they know how to win. They are the best team in the NFL. They've been dominating playoff teams. You look at the playoff picture. I always love when they put up those graphics. Who's in the playoffs next? I'm like, holy shit. Beat them, beat them, beat them, beat them, beat them, beat them. And it's like, holy shit. No wonder everyone's kind of like, finally like, all right, the Ravens are good. All right, we get it. The Ravens are good. Like 2 weeks ago, finally, people were like, all right, hands up. The Ravens are good. We got to give it to them. And I think some people are still mad just because as a franchise, this is just a down, dirty, Baltimore. I mean, this is, who are they? Who are you? Like, you're talking about bigger markets. Like, fuck, what, Baltimore? It's like, I imagine other people are pissed, and then all these analysts, they're fans of other teams, bigger teams. And so, fucking Baltimore. But we've been a model of consistency since our inception. Maybe not the first year, but and 2015, right? Maybe 2005. But we've consistently been a great organization in the NFL. And, we've gotten backhanded praise throughout our history. And it's about fucking time that we get what's due. I don't know why I feel like this goes back ages. No, but I mean, it's just, we've never had this before where it's unanimous praise. Obviously, they're still like, oh, I don't know if they win this game, I'll do this, do that. But I think it's finally like, okay, the Ravens are a well-built team, and they're doing great things, and they are the model for what teams should strive to be. This dominant, and like I said before, that last game against the 49ers, we needed that game. We needed a tough, nasty, physical, close game. I'm glad we still won it, but if we lost it, that's okay. We need that humble pie. You can't just dominate each and every week. I mean, I guess you technically can. But it would make me more nervous to have them just continue to blow teams out and go into the playoffs with nothing but blowouts the past 10, 12 weeks. We need close games. And I mean, if you're going to have a close game, it might as well be up against arguably the best team in the NFC. I know some people think the Saints. We will see actually this weekend because that's a tough matchup in the NFC. And I will definitely be breaking down that game probably tomorrow. Maybe later tonight. I don't know. Maybe I'll record ahead of time and then have it come out tomorrow. That's neither here nor there. I mean, either way, that's a great game last week, and we got another tough matchup this week. AFC playoff picture matchup, many implications because I mean, look, the Bills are real close to being division leaders and getting a bye week in the playoffs. Maybe not a bye week, but actually, yeah, because I think their record actually is better than a lot of other division leaders. So they beat us, and I think if the Patriots lose, maybe they take the lead, or I think they're tied, and I think the Patriots have a tiebreaker. And then the Bills go up against the Patriots, I think, soon, maybe next week. All I know is the Bills are record. I don't know. It doesn't match to me. Eye test. I'm all about the eye test. I don't know what the stats say. I don't know what their efficiency rating on anything is. I just have the eye test, and I think Josh Allen has been playing better. But the eye test also tells me that I'm seeing they're playing mad teams, and they're barely winning. They're pulling out these wow. I mean, you got a good defense. You're holding teams to little points, but I mean, you're not doing it on offense. You're not putting it together on offense. And it gives me confidence because no one's proven to be able to stop this offense. Yeah, you can hold us to 17, I guess, in the rain, but that's still 17 points. The way the Bills have been playing, it's rare that a team gets above 17. And for us, it's rare that we go below 20. What do we average, 30-something points a game? I mean, that is elite level. I remember hearing someone, I think, what's his fucking name? The guy who is Barstool, the Ravens cover of Barstool, Banks, Big Trust Banks or something like that. That's his name on Twitter. He was talking about it, the efficiency. He was looking up the stats. I don't really look up stats. It seems like a lot of work. I'm better off the eye test and gut feelings. Maybe I could use stats, and I have before, but it's just, to me, they're more misleading than they are truth-telling. But you can still see trends. And, to me, watching this Ravens offense, like, damn, they scored damn near every time. They're a very efficient offense. They're not putting up the craziest numbers. Obviously, they've put up great touchdowns, but it seems like they're just getting it done every time they go out there. It's more rare than not, or it's more likely that they score than not, right? 3 and outs, that's what is that? I've lost I don't know what the definition of a 3 and out is anymore, the way the Ravens have been playing. Because even if they get stopped on downs, it's not a 3 and out. They drive down the field a couple yards. And with the special teams unit playing the way it is, we normally have good field position. The defense, too, just getting this good field position. We're just a complete team. I forgot where I was going with this. But there was a point. There definitely was when I started talking. I also started talking, like 16 and a half minutes ago? So there's a point, right? I'm recording this podcast and I'm breaking down the game. That's the point. But I had a point within a point. Pointception. Which is what we should call this offense because it is so efficient. Pointception. They're getting points on points. It's like, I don't know how they're doing it. Actually, I do. It's because they're fucking amazing. And Lamar Jackson is goddamn legit. And the more he plays, the more and more my predictions become correct when I said some shit like Hall of Fame, MVP, best player in the league. Yeah, man, dude, Lamar is going to be viral. He is going to be the new face of the NFL. First time MVP in Baltimore. I think we can go ahead and just kind of claim that he's the MVP. It would take something fierce for him to not win the MVP. It would take, I think, the only possibility is Patrick Mahomes, before the playoff starts, throws for about 40 touchdowns, and Lamar throws about 15 interceptions, no touchdowns. That's the kind of shit that it's going to take. That's how dramatic I think it is. I know I'm supposed to be breaking down this game, but this is my obligatory hype up Lamar Jackson segment. Hi, welcome to Craving Some Raven. Can I take your order? Yes, I'd like one Lamar Jackson hype segment. Coming right up. I think without a doubt he is the MVP, which is dope because I'm going to be getting $160 out of it. But at this point, there's no one that's even close. And I've talked about it before. It's just like the Heisman. You got to have those moments. Your team has to be winning, and you have to be doing something that makes you go, wow. Wow. And Lamar Jackson does that each and every week. There's been so many great elite players throughout the NFL. Splash, crazy playmakers. And I don't know how many players have added to their highlight reel each and every game. Multiple plays are going on his highlight reel each and every game. And there's been a lot of great players. Like Barry Sanders, Randy Moss. Like those are I think the top two where you're saying rate of highlight plays, rate of highlight reel plays, that end up on your career highlight reel. They might have done it every game. I don't really know. It was such a long time ago. But Lamar, right now, I know for sure that Lamar Jackson puts up a highlight reel, a career-ending highlight each and every game. It would end up on most people's highlight reels. Eventually when his career is over, it's either going to be like a 50-minute video or, the standard's going to be so high that some of these highlights that just go by the wayside, they would be the best highlight on other people's highlight videos. It's kind of crazy. And And like his Instagram handle, it is a new era. And coincidentally, we are going to the Bills Stadium, so perfectly named New Era. Oh, God, fucking Lamar Jackson's going to go off. Holy shit. Holy shit. I mean, he, like, what I said earlier, 60-something yards? I mean, that's what the number is. Ooh, I said it. I said it before no one else did. No. It's like, what, 60-something yards for him to break the single-season QB rushing record? That's been held by Michael Vick since 2006. And, you know, Michael Vick, he was killing it in the league. He had that great 2004 year. And 2006 was his, oh, yeah, the stats, the stars align, all the stats are getting together. You know, he balled out. And Lamar Jackson's about to break that record in his second year at 22 fucking years old. Go fuck yourself. And he's going to break that record this week up against these Bills. It ain't the 90s, Bills. What's with the good record? Go back to your tragic self. Now, I was listening to, I think it was Film Study, which is a great Ravens podcast. Ken McCusick, I believe is his name. He had a Bills guy on there. And he was asking him, you know, what surprised you the most about this team? Like, what is your explanation for this team outperforming its previous thought? And he's like, I honestly don't know. The answer's fucking simple. Your schedule is trash. It is easy. It is cupcakes. Right? Like, I know it's like, oh, you play who you play. Yeah. And if you play trash teams, you play trash teams. You know, we could probably look at the power rankings of schedule, and you know, you should be able to adjust it each and every week. So, all right, this team's not that good. This team's not that good. They're getting worse. They're getting worse. So it turns out when they played them, you know, they thought that they were that good, right? They played the Patriots early and they played them tight. Like, oh, the Patriots are legit. But really, are they? Because then you look at their schedule and you have this weighted scale. You could put together this weighted scale of how good their opponents are and have an adjusted schedule. Like, really, how good is this team? And I imagine you look at that. I don't have the know-how, the knowledge, the stats, put togetherness. I don't know how to do any of that. I'm not a nerd like that. I'm a nerd in other ways. Not a nerd in these football stats. Now, I'll look at them, but putting them together, I don't know how the fuck you do that. But I imagine if you put those stats together, you know, you weight their level of opponent versus their record, and you know how they played in those games. I imagine it wouldn't be 9-3. Like, if you were to put a record on it, it'd probably be half or 500, not half. I mean, they would be 6-6. You know, if you were to adjust their record to how well they've played and level of opponent. Now, that's a bold statement. Who the fuck am I? If you're a Bills fan, I'm an idiot. What the fuck do I know? But I mean, come on. It's not just because you're playing us this week. That's my genuine thought on the Bills, on your team, if you are a Bills fan. That's genuinely what I think. You know, I trash talk a lot of teams when they come to play us. Usually it's in good fun. This is all in good fun. But that's how I feel about your team. I don't think they're good. The record says otherwise. You know, so maybe they come in, or we come into your house. That place is rocking. I know those Bills fans are rowdy. They're known to be one of the best. I was sorry to see that Nacho Libre guy, the luchador. I forget his name, but the crazy Buffalo guy, he died of cancer this past year, so that was a bummer. So maybe they're getting the cancer bump this year, which sounds really fucked up now that I say it. They're just getting a pity cancer bump right now. Maybe, I don't know. Pancho Villa? That's something else. I don't know, but I mean, I was definitely sad. You know, I love football, and I understand that man's passion. You know, wearing the libro, that wrestling, that luchador, that's what it's called, the luchador mask, and being a huge Bills Mafia, you know, like staple. Like real fan Dan, he's always up in the stands doing this crazy stuff, doing his Ray-Vans, up in the stands, crazy man Dan, fan Dan. Anyways, I'm too white to be rapping here. Too white to be rapping. Maybe I could rhyme. I could like Dr. Seuss rhyme. Real fan Dan, up in the stands, cheering on his Ravens. From sea to lands. Anyways, chilling with the bands. Anyways, tragic. See, this is sometimes it's like, okay, maybe I should edit this podcast, but then it becomes work, right? I just want to talk, get my opinions out there, and then boom, bada bing, send it off. We good to go. That's why it's so easy for me to do this. It takes minimal effort for me to make this podcast. I'm sorry. If you think it's tough to do, it's not. It's literally just me talking Ravens, which I could do because they're a passion. And I do no editing. Sometimes I pause to drink water, which I'm probably about to do. But other than that, I just talk Ravens, think, hey, I'll talk about this. You know, I'm supposed to be talking about this Bills game, breaking stuff down, but you know, it's gone off the rails. But that's what we do here. And I normally end up just talking about the podcast. I'm breaking would it be the second wall? I mean, because you're only listening to me, and you can't see me. Because when you break the fourth wall, you know, you got the three walls of that three-dimensional space that is the TV. I'm only breaking the second wall. Breaking into your minds, through your ear holes, through your ear vaginas. Anyways. Ear vaginas. Gross. Just thinking about earwax now. Anyways. I think, now, I've talked shit about this team enough. Let's praise them a little bit. Now, I don't think they are what the record says they are, but I don't think they're terrible. I don't think they're a great team, even though I probably in that rant kind of said that they were a trash team. Or maybe I said they were bad. I can't remember. But I don't think they're a good team. I don't think they're a 9-3 team. But I don't think they suck. I think their defense is legit. They've been holding people, like I said, also who they played, but you know, you still got to go out there and do it. I think they got people at all three levels. I will make them nameless because I can't think of their names off the top of my head because I'm a Ravens fan. I don't follow their fucking team. I just know that they got good players. I like Ed Oliver coming out. Shaq Lawson's been balling out. I saw that post game, I think after Thanksgiving or the week before that, when he's talking shit to somebody. You remember me now? You remember me now? You know, so they definitely have swag on the defense, and that's one of the biggest things. You know, when it comes to me and defense and how good I think you are, it's all about swag. You know, especially when it comes to the draft and when I start breaking down defensive players, which I will. It's coming up here soon, and that's when I do my best work. I'm telling y'all, the draft is when I do my best work. So you got to stay tuned. You got to keep listening, because it's all when it comes to defense. I'm telling you this now. I'm sure I will repeat myself a ton of times once it's draft time. You know, when scouting defensive players, half the thing is swag. You know, what's your swag on the field? Because defense is a swag position. You got to go there and you got to smack someone in the mouth. You got to feel yourself. It's, you know, sometimes, you know, oh, the scheme, they're doing it through scheme. You can't really tell, you know. You got to be flying around. You got to be going after the ball. You got to be swagged out. Guys, such a tragic phrase, but gonna have swagger on defense. That's just simply put. So I'll definitely break that down later. And I think the Bills kind of have that swagger, the way they've been playing. Now they're getting confident, much like the Ravens offense. You know, now they're starting to feel themselves. Even the Ravens defense, how they've been kind of slowly progressing to the point where they're playing really well. You know, they're bumping up their swag points. Hey now. I'm gonna say it the whitest way possible. Oh, wow, you got a lot of swag there, do you? I don't know. But the Bills, yeah, they've been playing excellent defense. And I wouldn't be surprised if they hold us to under 30 points. Which is crazy to say because the Ravens, you know, they average, ooh. Sorry if I blew your ears out. Holy shit, Cordell Patterson, what a fucking play. The Bears. Fuck you, Cowboys. And the Bears are 6-6. Fuck. What? Anyways, I was supposed to be breaking down this Bills game. This is definitely not my best breakdown, but it's a good podcast. Come on, guys. Give me some credit. Um, the Bills' offense versus our defense. Josh Allen, he's definitely coming into his own. He's looking more and more comfortable week in and week out. Obviously, I'm just watching the highlights and just a little bit here and there, relying on my highlight eye, take the good and the bad. But he's still a young quarterback, and obviously so is Lamar. But, if you were to compare them side by side, obviously Lamar is the better option. Josh Allen is just kind of finally starting to hit his stride, and with his long legs, damn, that is one hell of a stride. He had, coming out, he had all the intangibles, right? Size, speed, arm strength, technically worse accuracy than Lamar Jackson coming out, but, people don't talk about that because he's white. Yes, said it. Bring in race. We saw that guy. I didn't hear this broadcast because I wasn't listening to San Francisco radio, but I guess he was saying that, it's so hard to defend Lamar at that mesh point because the ball is dark, his skin is dark, and the uniforms were dark, and I guess it's raining, so it's impossible for a defense to kind of see it. I understand what he's saying. But as a white man, you can't fucking say that, bro. You gotta know that. You can't even mention skin color. You can't fucking do it. Which almost seems more racist than not. I don't know. I don't agree with what he said, but I understand what he was trying to say. He's trying to say that basically Lamar Jackson's camouflaged. That's he is camo because of his skin color. Yeah, that's a good theory. It's a fucking stupid theory. But bro, you are on the radio. You can't fucking do that. Hashtag me too. Come on. Time is up, girlfriend. Hashtag me too, aka pound me too. Which kind of goes the exact opposite of what that movement's about. But you know what? Hashtag Bill Cosby, pound me too. But yeah, bro. I don't think they even asked Lamar about it. I kind of wanted to see what his reaction would have been. I think that's maybe one of those things where the Ravens were like, don't even ask him about it. I doubt he even knew about it. I'm sure he knows about it now, and they'll probably ask for his opinion maybe later. I don't know. We'll see if they try to say, hey, no, don't even talk about it. But yeah, what a fucking dumbass for saying that shit. You can't talk about race on the radio. You just can't do it. I'm hurting myself doing it right now. As a white man, as a proud white man. No, I can't even say that. That sounded racist, didn't it? Yeah, I don't even know anymore. I'm just going to stop it. You talk about it, it's racist, but then when you decide to not talk about it because it could be racist, isn't that racist? I see it both ways, man. So you kind of have to talk about it, or else you're like this reversed triple negative racist. I'm not helping myself here. Either way. Oh, another touchdown. Anthony Miller. Can we get one to fucking David Montgomery? I got him on my fucking fantasy. At least now they're going to try to run the damn ball, so hopefully he will get some points now. But the Bills, yeah, man, the Bills offense, I'm not crazy impressed. John Brown has impressed me, what he's been doing. He's kind of returned to the beginning of his 2018 form, when he was playing with Joe Flacco. He was killing it for us. He was doing an excellent job. But, once Lamar Jackson came in, everything kind of changed. And, now he's playing with Josh Allen. They're getting on the same page. He's doing what he did last year. He's not just a deep threat, and this is what Ravens fans know. I think this is what a lot of people kind of know. Now the Bills know, and what the fuck, man? What the fuck? And he's doing good. He does the intermediate, he does the long pass, he does short. I think he's got an excellent catch percentage, which is kind of crazy because with us, especially with Lamar, he had a terrible catch percentage, and that's kind of why he kind of faded out of our offense, right? Because I know Engraven calls them the alligator arms. He'd put out just his little arms, not even fully extend and be scared of the contact that was coming. We passed over the middle a lot, and so that's obviously not his forte. But we'll see come this game. If he's able to challenge Marlon Humphrey, Jimmy Smith, Marcus Peters, he practiced against 2 out of those 3 pretty consistently all of last year. He practiced against Marlon Humphrey. He practiced against Jimmy Smith. And I think they got the matchup. I know Smokey, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? But maybe this is just, hey, we put the fire out, and that's just smoldering. It's smoldering. A little bit of smoke, but it's not fire, right? Smoky. I'm going to pause this real quick. I'm going to drink some water. All right. They also have Cole Beasley, who is a great possession receiver. Got him from the Cowboys, and he's been playing excellent. I picked him up in one of my fantasy leagues. It was one of them where I didn't even draft, so I got to pick up all these crazy players. What was that? Huh? Did you hear that? And he's been balling out. So, he's been getting me some pretty good points in fantasy. Pretty consistent. I think he just catches a lot of balls, and he works well in that offense. They definitely built off of the run game with Devin Singletary. I liked him coming out. If you listen to my draft coverage, I liked his wiggle. It's when it comes to running back, it's all about making people miss, and he was one of the best in college at doing that, only behind David Montgomery, and that's why I was hyped about David Montgomery. That's why he's on some of my fantasy teams. But Devin Singletary is that dude, and not to mention, the Bills also have Frank Gore. I mean, this is no slouch of a running game. They're definitely built off the run and then using Josh Allen's cannon of an arm, play action passes. I don't know how much they kind of utilize the RPOs, but, it seems like that would be a viable option for him. I know Josh Allen is a runner, but I don't think they're kind of scheming things up for him to run the ball. I think all of his running is just straight up scrambles. And, with them, his big arm, their offense, go deep, baby, go deep. I could be wrong about that, but that's, on the surface, that's what it seems like. Just send everybody deep if someone's in man coverage. If there's a lane open at the line of scrimmage, Josh Allen's going to take it, and he's going to get some big yards, and that's why he is second in the league as a QB rushing yards, right? That is why. It's because, he is a scrambler. I am not sure how often they run him. I guess we will see this Sunday, I'll get an up close and personal view. I'll watch red zone and stuff, but then again, you're only seeing him in the red zone. You're not seeing what he's doing before that, after that. You're not seeing all the in-between stuff, and that's kind of what makes players great, and that's really where you get to see the nuances of their game, how good they actually are. So I'm excited to see him finally play, because when I talk about the nuances of a game, you talk about Lamar Jackson and why it took so long for people to notice and to see how good this fucking player is, and you would hear national analysts talking all sorts of crazy stuff. So that's just not right. As a Ravens fan, you'd see it and be like, that is just not right. And so finally, when people, you get the world stage, you get fans of other teams to finally watch your guy. Like, I'm not going to watch just Josh Allen. I'll see his highlights. I'll see him on red zone. So I'll see plays here and there. Maybe before the game I should watch maybe one of their games, like their last game when they faced the Cowboys. I didn't really get a chance to watch it on Thanksgiving just because I was in the middle of doing family stuff, and they're not the biggest football fans, so I didn't want to be like, hey, can we just turn on the game and you guys can talk and I'll chip in and yeah. Yeah, can I get another beer? So I'll finally be able to get to watch it, because like I was trying to compare it to Lamar Jackson, where it took a while for people to finally take notice. And I know the Bills, they haven't had a ton of primetime games, and it's like, oh, they're silently 9-3, but I mean, who have they played? I've already talked about that. I mean, I will finally, I think, I'll have a more definite opinion of what I think about Josh Allen after this game, for sure. Seeing him up against our team, because I'm a huge Ravens fans, right? We're all huge Ravens fans. We see them play in and play out. We know how they are. We got a good barometer of how this team acts around different scenarios, different situations. So then we as fans will be able to judge Josh Allen from that perspective. So as the fan base will say, okay, well, he was able to do this, and normally teams aren't successful at doing this against us. So Josh Allen, he's good at this, he's bad at that. We will see, where he has his success. I imagine they're going to go over to the tight ends. I do like their tight end, Dawson Knox. I think that's his name. Don't quote me on that. I know his last name is Knox, but he went to Ole Miss as well. Coming off that Ole Miss team that featured Dawson Knox, DK Metcalf, and A.J. Brown. Two of the best other wide receivers, and Ole Miss couldn't do shit. Fire everybody, and that's why they did. I'm not surprised that Ole Miss fired their coach by the way by the talent that they had on their fucking team. I think A.J. Brown still is my favorite wide receiver out of that class. No, he hasn't been the most productive, but I think now the Titans are kind of rolling, we'll see him a little bit more. But I imagine if he was on our team, we'd be utilizing the fuck out of him. DK Metcalf has been balling better than you think. The whole thing with him was injuries, and he already had an injury earlier. He kind of came back quicker than everybody expected. But, he's already been hit by the injury bug. We'll see how good he continues to be because he has been balling out. He was a deep threat guy, and he ended up going to a team with a perfect deep ball throw. But, this has nothing to do with the Bills. So, I just went on a fucking spiel there. Jesus fucking, hey, talking like a mile a minute there. What's going on, buddy? God damn. What's good with those pipes? So yeah, I'm impressed by this Bills team. By the way they've played, they're better than I expect, but they're still not as good as 9-3 to me. I mean, they're better than I thought they'd be, but they're still not that good to me. I mean, you're not that good to me. I never loved you. Okay? So I feel about you, Bills. I never loved you. I only liked you because of your Xbox. You had a cool car. So, it's going to be a tough matchup. The Bills definitely use their wide receivers a lot in the passing game. Definitely use the running backs a lot. I mean, they use their offensive players. Oh, wow, what a fucking hot take, bro. But no, I mean, I think they're efficient at running. I think Devin Singletary, he makes a lot of people miss. Frank Gore is somehow still fucking doing it. And it all comes off the play action, and I think it's almost sometimes the pass sets up the run, but I mean, still, they get it done. But all of their games are low scoring, and they don't have to score many points. Like, just from looking at their schedule earlier, this is not the exact number, but I think their average, winning score is around 20 points, maybe? I think I saw 30 in there, saw 27, saw 21, but also saw some 10s, like a bunch of 10s, 11s, 13s, 16s, just low-scoring games. And I think, the matchup with Lamar Jackson, it's going to be cold in there. It is Buffalo. I kind of hoped it would snow, not for the sake of the team, just because I want to see a snow game. I want to see Lamar in the snow, even if they fucking lose. I'm excited for snow games. That is fucking football. Get a fire going, even though I live in a studio apartment. All of a sudden, a fucking cop shows up, or I guess the fire department more likely. Like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm setting a fire. It's football weather, bro. Come on, man. Dude, be cool, man. Be cool. It's just a little fire. I'm just trying to feel the mood. But yeah, man. Lamar Jackson against this defense, I keep harping back to who have they played. And I think, their strength is definitely their defensive line. I would say. And we're coming off of a game playing the best defensive line in the whole league. And Joey Bosa, I think the best player on that defensive line, he didn't register a tackle. Maybe he had one. He was tackling the wrong guy every fucking play. And Lamar Jackson, it doesn't matter if he got it covered up or not. He'll put anybody in a spin cycle. He is not racist to who he jukes on the field, Mr. Radio Man. I mean, he will juke anybody, gender, religion, race, creed, color, feelings. It doesn't matter. Whether you're angry, whether you're sad, he will cross you up. And so I think this Bills team playing in New Era Stadium are going to really feel the full force of New Era 8 football. Apparel. Big trust. Yeah, man, I know there's a ton of other stuff I wanted to get to. We're sitting at 45 minutes. I feel like I didn't break down the game enough, but I also talked a lot. 45 minutes straight. Just talking. I paused once. Not bad for a running back. Yeah, man, I think Lamar Jackson has another big game. I keep waiting for Marquise Brown to have another, 2 touchdown, 2 long bomb touchdown game. Maybe it's this one, maybe it's not. I don't really know. It just seems like sometimes they want to break it out, sometimes they don't. It's like, just throw a bomb down the field. It's always in their arsenal. They do it when they have to, maybe. I don't know. Because they've been very efficient on offense. They've been driving down the field. I think they're, in NFL history, they have the longest drives, average drive length. Or in time. Parsecs. How many parsecs is that drive? It's enough. It leads the league. Not just this season, but I think all time since I've been recording the stat. Heard Pat McAfee talk about that. This is one of the most, if not the most efficient offenses of all time. And so we're playing a Bills team that defense is, they're pretty good. Pretty decent. Better than expected. Okay. Awesome. Great. Let's see how they do against a historically great offense. It's all fun and games until you go up against fucking history. Alright? Alright? And that's what this team is doing. The only way the Ravens lose is if they beat themselves at this point. Mother Nature and the old turf monster, the old injury bug. I don't see a team beating us. As arrogant and as cunty as that fucking sounds. I don't see a team beating us. I believe it would be us beating ourselves. Refs. It would take a combination of weather, refereeing, and the ball just not bouncing your way. I think for us to lose. We've just, been too dominant. And I just love this Ravens team. Big trust. Big trust. If you follow me on Twitter, I've been all over the big trust. Been posting some photos that I've been fucking with on my iPad. I started getting into it. I've been fucking around on Procreate, making some cool stuff. So on Twitter, I'll usually post my stuff on Twitter. Yeah, I think it's kind of funny. It's also, people think it's dumb, maybe. I don't know. I'll come up with a good one of these days. I'll have a great edit that'll be big time. It'll get retweeted probably 3-4 times. And it'll be like, holy shit, I made the big times. I'm famous. I got 4 retweets, my dude. Yeah, man. So with that being said, if you're listening on YouTube, drop a like, add a comment. I will definitely respond. I have no life. Ask me a question, I'll answer it. As long as it's not too vague and way too personal. I will most likely answer anything you put in the comment section. So I want to see some comments, right? I just want to hear from you guys. All 15 of you. I want to hear from you. I want to know your thoughts, your feelings about this game. How was your day? You doing good in school? You staying away from drugs? Good boy. But yeah, also, yeah, I'm a podcast. So I'm on all podcasting platforms. Not all of them, only the big ones. And if you can't get with that, then you got YouTube. All right? Please subscribe to it on a podcasting platform. I definitely get more numbers from there, but my biggest spot where I get downloads is YouTube, I think. So, give me a 5-star rating on there too. I'm trying to bump up the leaderboards. I'm trying to at least show up on the first page, you know what I'm saying? There is a Bills podcast that shows up before mine. If you look up in iTunes, in the Apple Podcast app, if you look Ravens Podcast, more specifically Baltimore Ravens Podcast, I don't show up. There's Cowboys, Steelers, Bills that show up before me. And it's in the fucking name. Craven, some Raven. My dudes give me a hit. And I can't wait till the Ravens hit Josh Allen. The man that doesn't even get talked about. Oh, this isn't sustainable, even though he runs way worse than Lamar Jackson. He takes hits. Lamar Jackson does not. Lamar Jackson is out there doing parkour, and Josh Allen's out there fucking sumo wrestling, just taking too many hits. So that's another classic racist narrative right there. Why don't you get on the radio about it? Either way, man, we're sitting at 50 minutes. I've been doing this outro for way too long. Like always, gotta keep rambling, bro. Gotta keep on rambling. So with that being said, I know I'm missing something, but I will just leave you with a go Ravens, and I will talk to you soon.